what I want to talk to you about today is breaking the cycle. Sometimes as we grow up, we see that we are stuck inside the issues of, maybe not living in the best area, not having one of our parents in life or any of our parents in our life, being stereotyped from the reputations of where we come from, and we say, how do we get past this? What I want to say to you is, just because it seems like things are stacked against you doesn't mean that you're stuck there. You can actually break that cycle that you're in and build a new system for you to move ahead with. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because as I was growing up, I didn't have my dad in my life for most of my life. And I felt that was going to be a huge issue, because how am I going to be a man without seeing a man in my life? That's what I was worried about. I didn't want to have it where I grew up and, I left my future family. I didn't want to repeat the mistakes that my dad made. And so, for a while, I kind of just did my own thing. I didn't pay any attention to this worry, to the stress. And then one day, I just realized that I needed more in life than to wander aimlessly in this world. Hey peeps, I'm Rick Roberts, and this is Rick Roberts Life, the podcast where we talk about my faith, my thoughts, my life. And today is Motivation Monday. Now, this past week, I was asked to come and speak at the Faith Seventh-day Baptist Church, and I did an online sermon talking about breaking the cycle, and I want to share that with you today. Sometimes we grow up and we find that our house has an issue where our mom's not there, our dad's not there, or maybe we are having financial difficulties, we have poor health inside the place. And what I want to ask you is, are you experiencing that yourself? Are you tired of living in a broken cycle? What I've come to learn is that your cycle is like a factory. It produces what it's been shown to produce. So if you've seen brokenness in your family, it is very likely that you're going to repeat the cycle and have a broken family. If you see alcoholism as you're coming up, you're going to repeat the cycle and live in alcoholism. And so, how do we break this cycle? I have 5 simplified steps for you on how you can go about breaking the cycle. Step number 1. We need to identify where the fault is in the cycle. Is it because of lack of knowledge? Is it because of people just doing the wrong thing even though they know what is the right thing to do? We need to identify what is the problem. And then once we identify what the problem is, step number 2, we need to look for a good example of people doing the right thing. We need to see how it's been done, so that way we don't try to reinvent the wheel to have that in our life. Most likely there is a solution out there that's already been done, and all we need to do is find it. And then step number 3, figure out how we can adapt that step into our system, so that way we can start to correct it. Okay? If you don't know what it is to do, it is very difficult to implement something that you don't know. And so that's what I said. First, identify. Then, look for an example of it being done the right way. And then third, figure out how you can adapt what's been done there into your situation. Because once again, what may be good for that person or for that company may not necessarily be the best thing for you. So you need to figure out how you can adapt what's been done, be inspired by what's been done, and implement that inside of what your situation is. 1, 2, and 3 we got covered. Step number 4, we need to do the work and physically get moving to implement that step. Now, the reason why I added that in as a step is because when I work with people for fitness and for training, I know that people have the idea of, I'd like to do that. That sounds like a fun thing to do. But then it takes a minute for them to get motivated to actually implement what they have been inspired to do. And so that's why you need to tick that next box of actually doing what you've learned is appropriate for you to do to fix your system. And then the 5th step is consolidating it. Okay? You need to be able to break it down and to understand what you've actually been through so well, where you can actually explain to the next one coming behind you how they can avoid problems by using what you've learned to be able to break the cycle. That consolidation is when you know you fully won, you fully tackled what it is that was weighing you down, what it is that was getting inside your way. And so what I want you to do is I want you to realize that just because you came into this world and you find that maybe your parents aren't there, maybe you don't have the best education, maybe you're not living in the best place, you don't have the best resources, maybe that you find that you have all this stuff stacked against you, you're coming from alcoholism, you're coming from illnesses, you too can find a way to break the cycle and reinvent and have a new lifestyle moving forward for not just yourself, but for future generations. You can do that. You need to believe in yourself, you need to do the work, you need to pray hard and have faith. So keep your head up and keep moving forward. I'm Rick Roberts, and you stay classy.